WFM 91.7, a very beautiful morning here on the radio, 18 minutes past 9 on the radio. Today is the 23rd of July, 2021. My name is Daniel Adaj, and yes, of course.
Yeah, I am Kimberly Ubiabo.
Well, on the big question this morning, we are back on the series. A lot of you had asked, why did we stop? We started off the men's health series on things men don't talk about. But honestly speaking, I just wanted it to be as engaging and enriching as possible. And I've been able to drag my friend into the studio this morning, UK certified life coach into the studio, Kolade Stephen Adeniyi into the studio. I think, thank you for always standing up for your boy.
Yeah, keyword being dragged.
So I was standing as a man this morning. I have to say that.
So it is interesting that we're here today and we're going to be having this conversation about things men don't talk about, because it is very, very important that we look at this kind of conversations. We are in a world that has culturally, put the pressure on a man to be a provider, and there are a lot of things men are uncomfortable to talk about, even among their peers. We do not know how to relate to this thing. So excuse us, women, if you feel like a little bit excluded in this conversation, but I can guarantee you would learn a lot about men from this conversation.
I agree. Apologies for interjecting.
Yes.
I had put it up on my own status, and
yes.
I said it's a conversation for men and women who love them. So even if you're a woman and you're listening in, then I think it's the best.
Maybe I'll just stand in for the women then. So you guys talk.
All right. So I want to start off from this point: is what is the importance of the father figure in a child's life, either a boy or a girl?
Wow. Daniel has come again with the questions. I feel like he's just attacking you with a sledgehammer. The importance of a father figure cannot be underestimated.
Okay.
And I dare to say this, I'm speaking from both ends, both as a father and someone who's also divorced, and so I can relate.
Okay.
And I tell people this all the time. I say, even if and this goes out especially to single mothers who are listening in, and for single fathers out there who are fathered children. So this is my personal opinion, and thank God I'm the one who's on air now and not you. So I don't have a choice but to listen to my opinion now.
Okay.
I consider it a very big irresponsibility for a man to father a child and not be responsible for that child. And I don't respect men who are not like that. And I'm quick to say this all the time. I call myself a virtual dad. That means I have kids who the best way I can parent them is to do it virtually. Okay. And I'm sharing my own life experiences. Every time my own son, who's over 6,000 kilometers, talk to me and he does something wrong and his mom says, "Oh, I'm going to report you to your dad," I see the look on his face. "Oh, please don't tell him. Oh, please don't tell him. Please don't let him know. Oh, I'm sorry." And that means there's a level of relationship and control that I have. So the same thing with my daughter. And now I'm saying that to say this, that the role of a father figure especially cannot be underestimated. So that means if you are a single mom and you have a non-present father, find a father figure. It could be your dad, it could be an uncle, it could be someone that is close, that the child consistently relates with. Because the best of a woman is a woman at the most. You cannot be a woman father. So I dare challenge all those women who come up on Father's Day and say and put on their status, "God bless women who are doing the work of men." Bangladesh, you are not a man. You may be doing the work of a man, but you are not a man. Amen. So it's important, whether it's a female child, whether it's a male child, the place of somebody that the child can look up to as a father must be inherent and must be consistently put in place. So even if the father is not there, I advise single mothers, please. I know the work is tough. I know it's challenging. I know it's demanding. I know the emotions and all the roller coaster that goes on in your head. But find a man who is a father figure. If you don't have, at least if your parent or father is alive, let that child consistently have a relationship with his grandfather, with your siblings who are the uncles. Or put a father figure image in the life of that child. Yes, it's important.
Thank you so much. And of course, how when Kolade is here, you always hit the nail on the head all the time. All right. Now, we're going to look at two other things, which we're looking at a couple of things which I have listed out here. And the next one I want us to look at is the breadwinner, the provider. Culturally, men have been told that they have to be providers. And I have shared with you several times. That cultural responsibility of a man having to be a provider had, boxed a couple of men into always being in a state of being sad when they're unable to provide. Now, I want you to talk about being a provider alongside the social gratification that comes with seeing your male counterpart doing better off than you.
That's a Glasgow's question this morning. So you said it already. There's a cultural challenge for men. There is that hierarchical tendency that because I'm a man, I'm in the position, I must provide. And I dare say this: you don't even need to be married to be in that position. And even you, I'm saying that because even you can relate.
Yes, I do.
You are a son, and you have deep. I know personally you have a very close relationship with your mother as being the first male child and all of that. So there is already an imperative, or there is already an expectation that is thrown to you.
Yeah,
you are not married though, and that responsibility comes from your mother, comes from your siblings, comes even from your father, who would remind you that yes, you are carrying my name, like you asked, like you begged him to carry the name, like you are not Daniel without being an Agaja.
Yeah,
you are first Daniel. Yes, you stand on the shoulders of a big name. So that responsibility is I think is currently being overrated. And when you said that question, so this is what made me laugh. And I want our listeners to listen now. So this is the first time in the history of Nigerian banking industry that we have 6. I don't know whether it's 6 or 4 women who are MDs of top banks in Nigeria. So, if you are a man who still sits in the traditional concept of, I'm a man, then emasculation will just strangle you.
Word.
Because, so, I'm trying to imagine the traditional men in these banks. And their fate and what they do is at the response of a woman in heels. So, for me, it's the challenge of heels versus bow tie. You know? So that traditional norm of men are providers, I think is fast dying. Because these days now, I can tell you for free, sir, I don't know of the young man who wants to marry a woman who is not bringing something of equal proportion to the table. I am yet to meet the man, regardless of the age.
When you say of equal proportion in terms of money?
Financial take-home.
Well, that is debatable.
Hold on. Yeah, it's debatable. Like I said, I know it's debatable, and I seem to enjoy treading on the fringe of these very controversial issues. But this is the reality. The value of the naira to the dollar now is crazy.
Crazy.
So money really a naira.
Daniel, sorry.
Okay.
Don't you think that's making a lot of men lazy nowadays?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally do agree. A lot of men right now are catching in on the fact that more women are taking more responsibility.
Okay.
And they're choosing to be very responsible. So I had a conversation with a friend 2 days ago. One of the persons who's rather close to me. And she was complaining to me about how she has a string of boyfriends. And when she did the calculation of the money she has given to men in the space of a year and 2 months, she said she has given out well over 850,000 naira. And this lady earns 200,000 naira salary a month. So she knows how to save. Yeah. She's disciplined with money, but she's not disciplined with her emotions. I don't know whether we're getting...
We're making sense.
Yes.
Okay. So when I told her, I said you have to be disciplined with your emotion. You've shown that you're disciplined with money, you're frugal and all of that. You're running a business side by your day job. So there's an alternate means of income. But your emotions, no. That means you are consistent. And there are men, and she counted about 4 guys. Just because she wants to feel loved. And she falls into that trap of love. So yeah. So that's why I'm saying that. So most men that I know now who really want to build a home, most times will look to a woman who will bring in something. I'm not saying, but to an equal proportion. Then, I'm a guy. Every time I have to do out money for people, Daniel, that feeling is deep down in your belly. You can't describe it. What are you talking about? You know that feeling when you have a girlfriend, you take her out and she says, "Oh, this," and like, no, I'll pay.
I'll pay.
You know, it makes you feel like, yeah, I pay.
Like a man.
It makes you feel like a man. So the same thing happens for married men. The fact that you can pay the house rent, you can pay the school fees, you can put clothes on your children's back, you can put food on the table.
Yeah.
There is nothing that beats that feeling. That feeling is literally priceless. But so what now happens when you can't provide? Because the truth is, the trajectory of human life always has you know, it goes oscillates up and down. So you don't have a control over that. So what happens when you don't have that money? That is when some men don't know how to manage how they feel.
Yeah.
Because the concept of saying that I don't have or I don't have it's mentally tasking.
Yeah.
So that's when men would do things like borrow, they will lie, they will do all sorts of things just because they want to feel among. But something as simple as admitting that I have before, I don't have now, will save you a lot of trouble. Will save you a lot of embarrassment from people. And it will make you, put you at the place you ought to be. Then, the me versus them.
Okay.
That is not just a man problem, it's a life problem.
Okay.
The concept of the grass is greener at the other side, it's a reality that all of us fall for. And I'm speaking as simple as I can. So I live in a house where I have about maybe 4 other tenants. And maybe, they drive a car, I don't drive, or this one drives a Jeep, or this one does. So it takes a lot of, without trying to sound cliche, being comfortable with yourself. To get to a state where, yes, I don't have it because I can't afford it, but what I have, I'm comfortable with, and it makes me happy. But, okay, I think I even had a very funny incident, though that would be spilling my own family issue on radio, but he'll kill me, he'll call me for it. So I have and people know me, so they'll probably put my brother. Okay, I'm not using the example. But what I'm saying is this. I'm saying that even among siblings.
Yes.
Even among siblings where you have brothers, you have sister, there is one who will do better than the other.
True.
So do you now jettison the love language, the love relationship that exists because there is an have or have not? So it takes a lot, because I'm telling you, because we can now say that it is a man thing, but yes, for most men, unlike women, rather than verbalize that, I gotta get money past me, we begin to posture. It's the gorilla complex.
Okay.
It's the gorilla complex. What does the gorilla do to ascertain its turf? It pouts out his chest, stands up straight, and it keeps on eating his chest. He stay away, stay away, stay away. From what exactly? Are we not all in the jungle? Are we all not bloody naked gorillas? Is it not the same banana that you're eating that I'm going to eat? I don't know whether you get it.
Okay.
So until we get to that state where we realize that we are not better than the next person, really. Yes, they may. And I thank God that the Obi Kubana is our latest example. People are like, oh, you don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, no, yeah, he's standing for this brand. Oh, he's doing that. Oh, he's this, that. But I know how many men who came from the same village, the same age bracket, who saw him grow up, who they roll tires on the streets together, that will look at that because he's lounging money and will say, my life has finished. And then you measure your life on the context of material means. So what about living life to its fullest? Are you saying someone like Mahatma Gandhi didn't live a full life?
I always I'm a little bit tired in between that kind of comparison because we are in a different dimension right now. The world is in a different phase, and I understand the impact and the importance of having money and material things. They have, in one way or the other, we have seen that to be a reason to quantify the quality of our lives as people.
Okay, so you want me to break it down as simple as I can. So this is my own take home from the Oba incident.
Okay.
So I feel that there is a misrepresentation of roles and responsibility.
Okay.
And I fear for the generation of people who are looking at this entire thing, because it is no longer about work hard more, and putting your best. It's about it's about the means to an end.
Yeah.
It's about what's the shortest cut to blow. Right? So that by itself, let me even share the story. So a friend called me from Kenya yesterday. We were on the phone for over 2 hours. And so this is a complaint. She said, Kolade, I need your advice. My best friend in Kenya, I'm not talking Nigeria, so let's know that this thing is everywhere.
Yeah.
Is a big celebrity. She's popular. She's rich because she's familiar with Nigeria. And everybody knows her. He said, Kolade, this woman, our office is to die for. Literally everything in our office is literally made out of gold. He said, but the first time I came to her house, because she knows Nigeria, she now said, Kolade, you know those Jakonde buildings in Lagos? He said, that is where she lives. He said, only for her to find out that the car she drives every day, she leases them every day. Daniel, please make sense of that. And there are people like that here too.
Who are trying to live a particular lifestyle just to please the people.
To meet, they do it for the grams. I think that's what we say, right?
Yeah, do it for the grams.
They do it for the grams. She said, so when this person calls her up and goes, okay, I need you to, I'm putting together something for poor women, and I need you to be there to be a speaker. And she says, she can't reconcile that. And my question now was tailored to one thing. So what exactly is your value? Is your value that answers this question? You don't need me to tell you to cut off that friendship or not. It's not it's not a me telling you. It's your value. If your value says this is what you stand for, then you stand for what your value stands for. Which also now brings me to one of the things I was going to say to answer that question.
Yeah.
So what are the values that we stand for as men?
Okay.
What is your value as an individual, as a man? What do you stand for? What will you never do, regardless of cost and money? So which now speaks to two things. What are you susceptible to admit? What do you stand for? You know. So if those two things are the indices and measuring line for who you are as a man, then I don't think that doing it for the gram. So somebody called me recently, that was on Sunday. I said, oh, I've not been seeing you post recently. Oh, it's like we're not working. I know you have somebody in government who does this. And I laughed. I said, sir, I didn't want to mention, I can't even mention them for free. I said, I just closed training for a leading bank in Nigeria. He said, you are the academy? I said, no, I'm speaking to the ED directly. I said, as we speak, I'm coaching 12 of their heads of units. I said, you know how much I charge to coach for an hour? I said, so do the maths. It's a bank, a foremost leading bank in Nigeria. I said, so do the maths. I said, that means automatically they're retaining me for the next 6 months. Okay. I said, outside that, I have a series of trips I'm doing for the next couple of months. It's taking me in and out of Lagos continuously.
Sorry, I paused your thoughts there, right? There are certain individuals, this is like a general life example. There are individuals who watch your life, who see your life, and your life is more like an inspiration to them.
Yeah.
But how do you tell that certain individuals are not envying the things you do, and some are using you as a motivation? Just hold that thought quickly. 24 minutes to 10. This is Women Radio 91.7, and you are listening to the Big Question, and we're talking about the things men don't talk about.
The name says it all.
Women Radio 91.7.
This is WFM 91.7.
The Big Question on Women Radio 91.7. If you are just joining the conversation on The Big Question this morning, we're talking about the things men don't talk about on the men's health series. And I have Kolade Stephen Adeniyi, a UK certified life coach, here with me in the studio. So my question before we went on that one was, as an individual, you have there's so many ways people are watching you. People are watching. Some are monitoring you. Some are
monitoring.
Some are seeing your work and they are challenged to be better for themselves. You are an inspiration to them. And, and there's some that are watching your work and are like, okay, what is he doing now? There are maybe envious of what you're doing. How do you, because sometimes you might do certain things out of, you're excited about what you're doing, right? And then somebody else is feeling like, oh, he's bluffing, he's showing off, he's tripping and things like that. How do you create a balance to that?
Daniel, just ask me there. So one of the reasons why I stopped posting was because of one of these things. So somebody called me once and was like, he said, you're always posting on your WhatsApp story, you're always posting on social media, and we can be like in this part of the world, everything is spiritual, there's a demon, an evil spirit or something, or somebody watching you and all of that. And when he said it, I just said, thank you. Now, we had this conversation last year. I didn't put that into practice until, say late last year. And we had this conversation much early before the lockdown happened. Yeah. So I'm saying that to say this, there's always a place of balance. That's number one. And then I'll come back to what I said. What is your value? If I am posting or I'm writing anything I see my platforms as as a platform to educate and help.
Yes.
The few times I probably come and pose, I'm dressed up, or it's just to let you know that me self the travel, I spend money small, you know. I may not be popping away at the club and all of that, but in the little things I do that are my own, I do that. How do you now begin to decipher when someone is envious? I think you would know when someone is envious because most of their responses to you will be few and far between. So there's a post I see. So this is me being petty. So sue me, but it's me being petty. So I normally will add this. I normally have this custom of always my friends. I celebrate, share, you know, like click, like, share for anything you do. Then and I'll look at you. So this is how I measure. So if you're my friend, be listening because I'm talking to my friends now. So I believe that the same level of reciprocation, what I give, you should reciprocate back, which is basically normal. And I find out the first, second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh time, I'm doing it and I'm not getting any response. I'm human, right? So that I don't begin to feel a negative feel consistently, I take the power back at that moment and I say, okay, up until the time you are ready to do the same thing to me, I would share.
Yeah.
So that's basically managing your emotions for me. That's a way of managing my emotions. If you are envious, that's like a special spirit that I won't say deliverance, but you will know when you're envious because number one thing is why are you uncomfortable at another person's success or good story? Then you should be asking yourself some fundamental question. And most people who are envious, I found out from therapy, what they're envious about are actually things in themselves that they are sad about.
So, if I'm sad I don't have money, I'm going to be envious of someone that has money.
It's natural. So because you're not dealing with the issue naturally, you are projecting that feeling of negativity out to the next person.
So how can we manage that feeling? Because somehow I feel like it's tied in between the fact that there is social validation for us as individuals.
True.
And then when we see people who are achieving things, we be like, oh my God, I wish I could do these things that they do. And, how do we create that balance where we can challenge ourselves and not be envious of what they have?
I'm trying not to sound cliche. I'm trying to answer this as as practically as I can answer it. I'll give you a classic example, right? I love the actor Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
I love his lifestyle.
I do too.
I love RMD.
I'm not really a big fan of him.
Okay, so but I'm a fan.
Okay.
So RMD is wealthy. He's rich. He's influential. He's popular. He's good looking at 60. Come on.
That's a lot.
Come on. And this is me, guy. Say, boss. I doff hot.
Trip. No, that can get me tripping.
So, but our social standard and class are different.
True.
Do I aspire to dress like him? Yes. Do I aspire to have the sort of influence he has? Yes. Do I have it now? No. Can my money afford the kind of jacket that he can afford? No. But can I get to wear that sort of jacket? Yes. If he's buying his own at 1.something million, I can pay tailor. He can do mine at maybe about 110,000 naira, which is a percentile of what he's spending on the original thing. So, but will I carry that 110,000 naira jacket like a 1.1 million naira jacket? Yes. Will I go and take pictures with you and tell you to over-edit it and make it look cool? Yes. So I'm saying that to say this, that we are in the click, like, share generation. Everybody wants to be like, love, like, and all of that. So society has made it so easy, and I got a double thumbs up to my Igbo brother. For every Adidas, there's an Adidi. For every Nike, there is a Nico. For every Apple, there is an Apple. So, in other words, what am I saying? The moment you understand that within the means of what you earn, you can actually live your dreams genuinely and you can be happy. And we've seen several celebrities spring up from nothing. I'm a big fan of Apostle Kamaru, Black Kamaru, and
Apostle Black Camaro.
Black Camaro and
what's the other
Oba.
guy? Oh, yes.
Apostle Oba.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So those guys, they use basic regular things that we can relate with, that we see.
Yes.
And they are a sensation to us, and we're excited about them. They didn't need to go, they didn't need to dress up. So we can't compare them to a number of other celebrities who will dress well, who will look a certain way. So the validation you really need, honestly, it's your own validation.
Okay.
But don't stop dreaming.
Word.
Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop aspiring.
Okay.
My biggest model in what I do, and of course he knows I love him with all my heart, is we call him TC, Larry Lushola. I love him with my entire being.
Fantastic being. I've spoken to him. He was on my radio show one time.
Yeah. You know, and so I consider it a privilege to be able to travel the world with this guy, to be able to work with him, to be able to have him share, Kolade, bring your expertise here. Oh, you're good at, and that validation. Every time I do anything for him, he comes online and he writes something about it. And he boasts to everybody. He says Kolade is the best team building coach we have in Africa. He says it all the time.
I want us to talk about something, because I think that might be my last question. It might take the rest of the time for the morning. It's the place of friendship in grooming men rightly.
The place of friendship in grooming men rightly.
Yes.
So so listeners, I'm not stuttering. I'm just being careful, because Daniel's question have a way of triggering you. But this is what I'm going to say to that. So there's a local adage that says that 20 friends do not play for 20 years.
Okay.
But I found that when it comes to men, unlike women, apologies, ma'am, we tend to hold on to friendships longer than women. I don't know whether you noticed that. That is because most times, if we grew up together as friends, the possibility that I will feel comfortable and safe with you is higher.
Yeah.
While a woman will want to transition into marriage and begin to feel, which also happens in men. So don't let me use that example. How far you grow, how well you become, how your perception of life is, who you will be, how your dreams will be, I dare say is dependent on the kind of people you hold on to consistently as friends. My best friend is in the UK. We probably talk maybe once in 3 months. And maybe in that space of 3 months, we can catch up for a number of days and we go back into doing what we do.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time. I say, Sammy is my biggest critic and is my biggest fan. You know, all I need to do is just to post something, and then you see his comment go, this, blah, blah. And then when he hears that, okay, I've dropped the ball on something, he's the first person that picks up the phone and goes, wait here, what did you just do? You know, and he backs it up and he says, no, guy, you are better than this now. You're supposed to be this. And he says it in a way that is not hurtful. And when he does that, he says, because I'm saying this, because not because. And then the same thing I do to him. So the place of friendship in living, the place of friendship in growth cannot be overemphasized. And I think, and I dare say, in the generation we are, like you said, where everybody is doing everything for validation and people to see them, then there's a need for men to have friends who are genuine, who will be real with you, who will be honest with you, and who you can open and bear yourselves with. They don't necessarily have to be doing it because they're giving you money, but because genuinely we need that help.
Yeah.
So I was speaking on a radio show recently, and of course I was talking about how we need to sleep more. I was using sleep as an example because I was telling them there on the show. I said, my example was that, do you realize that people naturally will say they are tired, say they need to sleep, they'll eat the sack early, actually sleep for a long time, and they wake up the next morning feeling even more tired, exhausted. Yeah. Then I told them on the show, I said, that's because sleep and rest are two different things. And number two, I said sleep is a type of rest, because there are 7 others. But that is not the conversation here. So, but I'm putting that aside to say that it's important for men to have an outlet where they can vent. Because society naturally does not even give the platform and the room for you to talk. You know, we've spoken about depression here for men. We've spoken about mental health, which are like a taboo. Yeah. So, but one of the easiest things I do when I sit down at the table with a client is this. The bulk of my job, sir, is that I just listen to people. Daniel, think about it. People pay you, come into your office and sit down for a session, and 85% of the time you are listening to them rant, talk, and just pour out. Yeah. Yes, and my job is to pick off this signal, this trigger, this one. But the core is to be able to talk. So imagine that you as a man, you are going through the phases of life.
Okay.
And there is no man standing there on your shoulder who's able to hold your back. That's dangerous. So yes, we need to have friends for where you want to go, for how you want to get there. People who will support you.
Okay.
And I'm also of the school of thought that you should also do a mental evaluation, not even a physical evaluation of your friendship and friends.
So just because of our time, we have about 3 more minutes, and I want you to quickly weigh in on people who do not have friends. There are men who have grown up being the one-man army kind of people. They have, on their way towards their journey to quote-unquote success, have had to sacrifice their friendships in terms of, maybe they had to work, they had to be away. When friends had to play, they had to work and all of that. How can they now have friends?
And so I don't think that is actually true. Sir, forgive me.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's possible for you to be on a journey of life and walk alone. So hold on. I'm speaking first as a team building expert.
Okay.
Because no dream, no vision is done in isolation.
In isolation, yes.
So if you now say that those people will pick up friends, because the truth is that we have friends from all phases of life.
Okay.
You have friends from work, you have friends from home, you have friends from family, so we have all these friends. So they are there. But so except you are saying that you don't have a close friend, you must. Okay. Because even in that dream that you're pursuing or chasing, you need somebody who shares that same value, who sees that same goal, who can push you. We all need that push. As much as I coach people, I have people who I run to when I need to be pushed. I have people who are my speed dial. I'll just call because I need to have them talk to me about certain things that are real consistently. So I think that's a lie. But the truth is this: it is dangerous as a human to live in a bubble and live in a cocoon. And then life is designed such that it's supposed to be. Even we in HR training, we talk about work-life balance. So if you're balancing work, that means life is suffering. So you cannot say that, okay, I'm leaving my friends behind because I'm pursuing my dreams. So you are actually telling me one thing, that you have the wrong friends, or you have friends who are not going the same place with you, which is right. Right?
Okay.
So when you found out, when you say, okay, this is where I'm going, this is where I want to get to. So it now behoves on you to say, okay, for this new level, this new stage, who are the men who see these goals, who are going there? Then you make them friends. I will be a silly person to say that I don't have close friends within the circle of the coaching or the training or the consulting industry. Why? Because these are some of the people who have been there before I got here.
Yeah.
So they will always have one new thing to teach me. Like I have people too who are my friends because they feel I always have a thing or two to share.
You have been amazing for me this morning, and thank you for blessing our listeners with your words of wisdom. In 1 minute, I want you to weigh in on the importance of taking a break as a man.
Oh, interesting. In a community and a society where we are primed, we are consistently pushed to perform and deliver and just be a man, there is always a place of taking a break. I spoke about the 7 types of rest earlier.
Yeah.
So imagine rest being the battery on the bar of your phone, and your phone will naturally run from 0 to 100. So the first question I want men to ask is this: what is your social rest and energy like? What is your mental energy and rest like? What is your emotional rest and energy like? What is your social rest and energy like? What is your spiritual rest and energy like? I've mentioned 5, 7. So if you want to put this thing on a bar and these things are depleting, then begin to fill them. And people say, oh, it's Lagos, I don't have time. And I say, yes. So right in this studio, we have a bulb, right?
Yeah.
That is working. Do you know the mechanism that takes the bulb to work? You don't know, right? But it works when you push the switch.
Switch on.
So find what makes you rest. Because the human body doesn't know the difference. And I'll give a classic example just before we sign out. One of the things that makes you relax is water. And you don't have time to go to the beach. All you need is data. Switch on your YouTube and go to pictures or go to a video of crashing waves and water. And just stand there for that 60, 120 seconds and look at it. So this is what science has told us. Your body will react the same exact way.
Way. That's so true. You're saying it right now and it clicks. It clicks.
So whether you're on the beach or you're looking at it on the screen, you get the same effect. So find what your rest is. I like to play video games. I still play video games.
I like to swim.
You like to swim. Some people like to watch football. Men need to rest. If you don't rest, then you can't get the best. So why live life that you can't give the full of yourself?
Kolade, I'll always have you on my show until I leave here. I would always have you on my show as much as possible. Thank you so much.